Why is Maktab important? Every Muslim child from the age of 5, after they finish school, they go to Maktab for 1.5 hours, 2 hours. Maktab education is important if you're a Muslim. A Muslim has got so many things that he or she will have to learn in order to practice the faith of Islam. And that is why it's very important to go to Maktab. There are three main reasons why parents would send the children to Maktab. The first main important reason is to learn Islamic knowledge, to learn how to read the Quran, to learn how to do the prayers, to learn rules and regulation as a Muslim. So first part of Maktab is learning. So they send the children to learn about Islam. The second reason why parents would send the children to Maktab is for them to understand how to practice Islam. So one is learning theory side of Islam. The second is how to learn how to practice Islam living in United Kingdom as a good Muslim. So it's about seeing how Islam is being practiced. And the third very important part of Maktab is the identity. Maktab develops the identity of the Muslim child, and that's what the Maktabs try to achieve. From the age of 5 till the age of 12 to the age of 14, our identity is very important, and Maktab plays a huge part in developing the identity of the Muslim child. So if you look at Oldham, Oldham has round about 4,500 to 5,000 children who attend the Maktab every single day. For 5 days of the week, they will attend the Maktab. So the social benefits are that resource the police would be wasting on moving people off who are creating antisocial behavior in the local community, that is taken care with the Muslim community via mosques and madrasas. So that is one of the massive benefits of the Maktab system as well. In the Maktab system, when the children are in Maktab, they are safe off the streets, they are not causing nuisance, and they are taught British citizens, values of British citizen and Islamic studies. So they work in hand. Every Maktab has a responsibility not just to teach them Islam, to make them a best good citizens, and that's what Islamic teachers at Maktabs will do. Socially, the benefit of that will be seen afterwards when children will turn away from crime, will turn away from drug abuse, will turn away from antisocial behavior. This is what the Maktab is trying to achieve. The Maktab is trying to make the individual into a responsible British citizen living in the UK. The Maktab system and all education system work towards a triangle. Now, if you understand the triangle of education, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the child sits at the top, and on one side at the bottom the parents sit, and the other side the teacher sits. So when that triangle is complete, the outcome for the child would be achieved. The teacher and the child will do an awful amount of learning, but that learning will not come into any use if the parents at home don't follow, or if the parents are not following or are not motivating the children to do what they have learnt in the Maktabs and to practice what they have learnt at the Maktabs, to practice that at home. Now, for me as a Ustad, my experience is very different. Some places where I have been, where parents have been very engaging and parents are very concerned, that's the private madrasas. I would say a lot of parents inquire a bit more. I've been in a Maktab where it's been Maktab and Masjid together, so the local children come to the Maktab. In that situation, the parents' interest seems to be quite low. Now, some parents would come and inquire, some parents will not inquire at all. In assemblies, I've always said it's either two things. It's either you're not bothered at all, or you're so concerned and you're so happy with the education that we are delivering that you've got no questions that you want to ask, and you're so happy, so you don't think it's important or relevant to come through. I always say parents, once a week, once in a fortnight, at least once a month, if they came to the mosque, if they came to the classroom, opened the classroom door and said, Ustad, how is my son doing? How is my daughter doing? That would be sufficient for a Muslim child to understand, I need to pull my weight. My parents will be asking my Ustad. So parents' involvement is very, very important. Absolutely. Just going back on that point, Mullah Abdul Rauf, for example, in the Maktabs, we teach 40 daily du'as. Now, from the 40 daily du'as, I assure you, the Maktab children would need the 10 du'as what we teach them. To go to the toilet, how to eat, when to eat, what to read, to go to sleep. Now, I have taught the child to read these du'as. He knows these du'as. But if a parent doesn't ask this child to read the dua, to read the prayer at home, I can teach him as much as I want, or I can teach her much as I want, but the parents needs to investigate and needs to intervene and remind them and motivate them to do the prayers. Only that way they will remember the duas. And that's evident, because if you've got a class of 20, 12 students know the duas, it doesn't matter when you ask them. And if you do research, you'll find out these people's parents, these children's parents, always remind them to read the dua, and it becomes a habit. For those parents who don't, the children have to look at the books, learn it again, and then read the duas again. So that's the difference. So parents' involvement is absolutely essential. I think there's a dual responsibility. So as a Muslim child, the Muslim child needs to learn from the parents and from the teachers. So the basic adabs, etiquettes we should know. So if we see our child at home eating with the left hand, every parent knows in Islam we eat with the right hand. So they should know this before they come to the maktab. What maktab would do is teach that in theory and would go in deeper to things where parents may not know. So it's a dual responsibility of the parents and of the teachers. It's responsibility of the parents to ask the children what they've been learning, and to make sure that the parents would trying to implement this at home when the children come back. So it's a dual responsibility. So when I started to teach first, I used to teach without a syllabus. So I would teach my children how to read the Quran, and then I would develop my own syllabus and teach according to the syllabus. Now that worked, back in the days it worked. There was a lot of parrot fashion learning. So the children were gaining, but it wasn't systematic learning. Then I came to another madrasa where I developed a syllabus. So when you develop a syllabus, it's easy to monitor, it's easy to see what they're learning, it's easy to monitor their progress, it's easy to refer back to the parents and tell the parents what they are learning, what they should have learned, where we want to see them. So it's easy to monitor. But after that, after I put a syllabus into place, it's also best for the teachers to have a syllabus, because it helps the teachers to teach the children according to the syllabus, and there's a system in place. So you follow a system. Over the last couple of years, there's material out there where people teach in different madrasas, which is syllabus based. So for me as a maktab teacher, every maktab should have adabs, which should be taught in the early years, should have fiqh throughout maktab, should have the subject of hadith. I love teaching 1 minute madrasa because I find that very beneficial, because we teach them how to pray the salah, but do we ever ponder, at least they should know what they are reading in the salah. So the last 10 surahs of the Quran and Surah Fatiha is very, very important, and by 1 minute madrasa you teach them that. And then we should have one day where we discuss different subjects. Now, syllabus is the backbone of an organization of a maktab. However, I feel teachers should be empowered to go out the box and create activities where children would enjoy. So that's developed over the 20 years of I've been in maktab. And as days are going, we are improving and we are looking up to areas who have done this 20 years ago. So the Muslim community in Oldham especially are looking towards Blackburn, Bolton, Preston, where there's a Gujarati community who have been doing this for years, and situation is improving. I wouldn't be wrong to say the vast majority of the madrasas in Oldham now and the masajid madrasas will have some kind of syllabus or some kind of book what the children would learn from. So that's my own experience over the 20 years. The key features is, number one, the children, you would have to make them interested to come to maktab. Like children are interested to go to school, similarly you have to create the interest to come to the maktabs. Now there's a massive difference here. Schools are funded, schools have money for activities, maktab are very poor institutions. So that's the problem that we face. But we should try to make our environment the most welcoming environment for Muslim children to attend. The second important thing is resource. So how your madrasa maktab is set up would have a massive impact on how successful your maktab is. You need good teachers who can deliver in the language which the children understand, and the ethos of the maktab needs to be looked at, where it's not just education, it's education with tarbiyat, with fun and enjoyment. So these are the key words which are important in a maktab. I also suggest that every maktab should allow for 10 minutes break, because when the child has been in school for 8 hours, come home, had something to eat, straight back to the maktab, the child will not focus. So we need breaks in order for maktabs to be successful. I think there will be a difference because communication would be a problem. However, if the Bengali speaking imam tries to engage the child and uses some English, then that is beneficial also. Now my experience says the early years children, so all the way from the age of 5 till the age of 9, it's best to have an English speaker. And after when they go a little bit mature, if you've got Bengali speaking ustad, they can do an effective job. But I think it's age related more than anything else. So I'm not going to say and tell you that Bengali teachers are not useful. I can give you an example of so many Bangladeshi teachers who are doing a great job. So my experience tells me the Bengali speaking teachers are better for grown up children, and the English speaking teachers are better for the younger children. The vast majority of the children will not go for further Islamic education. Whatever they learn in the maktab, that is the only Islamic education they will have, and that's the foundation they will build their life on. So from the age of 5 till the age of 12, whatever they learn, however they learn it, that is what the Islam will depend on. So for me, it's very important by the age of 12, when the child leaves, he understands what is halal, what is haram, what is right, what is wrong. He understands his Islamic duties, Islamic morals and Islamic culture and Islamic characteristics. He understands how to read the Quran. He understands his identity as a Muslim. From the age of 12, I don't say every Muslim child will read 5 times a day, but I intend that the child will be returning back to Islam at his teenage, maybe later on in life, maybe when he becomes a parent. If his foundation is strong, hopefully that will help him then also. So my requirements for a Muslim child is his identity, his reading the Quran, his reading his prayers, his understanding of halal and haram, his understanding of what it means to be a Muslim, his understanding of the Quran. All these things which have been taught over to him for the past 7-8 years, he should uphold them and he should implement them, and he should understand the importance of that. However, I would also recommend that even if the Muslim child reaches the age of 16, at least once a week, there should be provisions available for that Muslim child to attend a madrasa, at least once a week, so his connection is there with Islam, where they could develop, where they can develop greater understanding on deeper issues. The children who don't have maktab around the world, have been to places where they haven't had a maktab, they have lost their identity. It's simple. How do you get rid of a religion? When you diminish, when you take away the learning of that religion, the religion fails. So I went to America, in Florida, part of Florida. The father was a brain surgeon, the grandfather was a brain surgeon, but his children and himself didn't know much about religion. So them and their identity as a Muslim was very weak. So if you don't have a Muslim maktab, or if you don't have Islamic education in a maktab system, it attacks your identity. And over the years, it'll take you away from Islam without you realizing, without even you realizing, it will take you away from Islam, and you will forget about your religion because you've never thought about it or heard about it. So it is very important to have a maktab. If you don't have a maktab, you'll have 5,000 students in the streets of Oldham from the time of 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. To manage 5,000 children off the streets at that time, it would be a nightmare for the police. That's the biggest social problem that you'll have. Secondly, it will put children in front of the TV, on the tablets, wasting time. Thirdly, the children would not develop as good Muslims, as British citizens, which will cause problem for the society at large. My vision is we are equipping our Muslim children with right form of education, so they grow up to be responsible citizens of the country, and they grow up to be responsible Muslims who serve England and the religion of Islam as ambassadors, which the religion can be proud of and which the country can be proud of. So that is what I think Maktab should be creating, and that is what our motive should be. It's not just Islamic education per se, it's building the identity as a Muslim, as a British citizen. So that's very important. Someone who's managing a maktab, they need to be dedicated, they need to have a syllabus, they need to think out of the box, and they need to have a lot of time. They need to have a lot of time to develop the maktab. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have that time to develop a maktab. However, I recommend this. Anyone who's got the passion and time, they can develop a maktab to a working standard.